Ben Solo is my personal favorite character in the Star Wars sequels. His character arc is beautiful, and he really saves the sequels for me. Today, I'm going to be explaining the entire life and origins of Ben Solo, or Kylo Ren. Let's get right into it. Ben Solo was born on 5 ABY to Han Solo and Leia Skywalker. Right when he was born, it became evident that he was a Force sensitive due to being a part of the Skywalker bloodline. As a toddler, Ben enjoyed playing with his father and had a strong connection with him. Chewbacca was also very close to Kylo when he was a kid, which makes it even more sad when Chewie shot Kylo in The Force Awakens. Ben even called Chewbacca Uncle Chewie. Ben also developed a strong relationship with Lando, Han Solo's friend. Ben's name is actually a tribute to Ben Kenobi, Han Solo's old friend. As an infant, Ben had a tough time falling asleep. His father, Han Solo, would comfort him and help him through the night. In Ben's youth, both Leia and Han worked in their professions. Han struggled to stay in one place due to not fitting at one particular job. Meanwhile, Leia became a respected senator in the New Republic. As Ben grew older, the feud between Leia and Han began to grow, leaving Ben with feelings of abandonment. Once Ben was old enough to be trained, he was sent to Luke's first Jedi training batch with hopes of bringing the Jedi Order and Council back. During his training, he excelled and he was the best student. Although Ben was good, Luke saw many similarities between Anakin and Ben. This worried him and decided not to tell his nephew about the dark side and his grandfather, Darth Vader. During Ben's sleep, he began to hear a voice. This voice was Snoke, aka Palpatine. The voice taunted him and persuaded Ben to join the dark side and become more powerful. Luke sensed this inside of Ben and panicked. Luke then attempted to kill Ben in his sleep out of fear, which was a terrible mistake. If Luke never did this, I believe Ben would have never turned to the dark side. After being attacked, Ben fled and Snoke eventually found him. Snoke then trained Ben in the ways of the dark side. During their training, Snoke tested him and pushed him to the limits. Snoke eventually changed his name from Ben Solo to the dark and evil Kylo Ren. Kylo and Darth Vader's struggle with the light and dark was very similar. They both had conflict within them and struggled to keep it out. During Kylo's training, he hears about a rebellion threatening the First Order. This sparks a fear inside Kylo. He knows that this rebellion will mean he will have to confront his parents. Once the Resistance crew that includes Rey, Chewie, and much more arrive, Kylo senses their presence. This was Kylo's first test, and he knew he couldn't fail. Han then confronted Kylo, and Han began to try to bring his son back to the light side. Kylo then killed his father, the man who he used to love and play with his whole life. Chewie, out of pure rage, shot Kylo and deeply injured him. Kylo then went into the forest to stop Rey and Finn from getting away. While there, Kylo fought both Finn and Rey while injured. He sensed the power from Rey and knew that she was something to be feared. During their fight, Kylo put up a good fight but couldn't win due to his injury. After the fight, Rey, Finn, and the rest of the Resistance got away. When Kylo returned to Snoke, he was furious at him due to losing. After the events of The Force Awakens, Kylo completed his training and became a fierce warrior. At this time, Snoke sensed the conflict inside of Kylo. He knew that he still thinks about the day he killed his father, and he knew that he struggled with this decision. Snoke then captured Rey and bringed him to Kylo. During their interaction, Kylo kills Snoke and attempts to convince Rey to join him and destroy both the Sith and the Jedi and to form a new age. Rey denies his request and escapes. Kylo then goes to hunt down Luke and kill him. When Kylo meets Luke, he realizes that he is actually not there. Using all of his energy to do this, Luke dies. After the events of The Last Jedi, Kylo becomes the supreme leader of the First Order. He hears of Palpatine's return. Out of rage to kill all of the remaining Sith and Jedi, Kylo searches for Palpatine and eventually finds him on the Sith planet of Exegol. While there, he confronts Palpatine and finds out that he created Snoke and that all the voices in his head was all from Palpatine. He also finds out that Rey is actually Palpatine's granddaughter. Palpatine then sends Kylo to bring Rey to him. Kylo tracks down Rey after many tries and finally finds her. Rey and Kylo then get into a fight where Kylo finally returns to the light side. He sees his father, Han, and Kylo finally understands what he has to do and returns to his real name, Ben Solo. Ben then goes to Exegol to save Rey and put an end to Palpatine. While there, he gets confronted by the Knights of Ren, and they get into a fight. Once Ben escapes, he rushes to Palpatine, but is stopped by his pure power. Palpatine then sucks the life essence out of Rey and Ben. Due to Ben's strength, he was able to rise, but was later thrown off a cliff by Palpatine. Ben then used all of his remaining strength to climb back up. Once up, he sees Rey laying on the floor, on the verge of death. Ben rushes over and uses all of his strength to force heal Rey. Doing this, Ben collapses and dies. Ben sacrificed his life for Rey, and in the end, he returned to the light side. Over Kylo's whole life, he was always good, but was manipulated by the dark side, and did not know who to trust, just like Anakin was. In the end, Kylo will go down in history as one of the fiercest warriors and most selfless people in the Star Wars universe. If you enjoyed today's video, hit that subscribe button and help grow the channel. And I will see you in the next video. May the Force be with you.